Like it or not, we are all carrying a whole bunch of baggage with us in our life. And it doesn't matter if we're able to cram it all into one little small backpack, or if we're somebody who carries, like, drags 5 different steamer trunks along with us. The point that I'm going to be talking about is how we go about carrying that baggage, because we are all going to go about it different. Even though we're going to be dealing with the same thing, we are going to approach it in a variety of different ways. And there's no right or wrong, good or bad, of handling the baggage that we have as long as it's working for us. And then we often worry about, well, if this is how I go about carrying my baggage, why aren't you carrying your baggage the same way? Why aren't you doing the same things that I'm doing to help lighten your load? And so we often put our way of going about it onto other people, but maybe for whatever reason that doesn't work best for them, and that's okay. And that's where it gets hard, is especially when we see people struggling with the baggage that they're carrying. We often just want to step in and say, no, you need to do it like this. Carry your baggage this way, and it's going to be so much better. But even though they might be struggling, they've got to learn how to go about it and carry it in the way that works best for them. So I'm going to break down a whole variety of different ways and give examples of how it might look that each one of us are going about carrying our baggage. And so the first one is where you might view the way that you have your baggage is by like setting a goal. I have 5 bags right now. By next week, I'm going to pare this down so that I only have 3. And I'm going to go about this, this, and this in order to get that accomplished and make sure that that's done by the time that I set, because that's what's important to me. And that's what's going to help me lighten my load and not feel so bogged down by all the baggage that I'm carrying. So I view it all as, this is how I can accomplish carrying the baggage that I have. Or maybe I'm going to set a goal that I'm going to be able to stuff one bag into another bag into another bag, and I'm still going to have the same amount of baggage. But if I just go about it like this, now I've reached my goal of literally only carrying one bag. So there's a whole mindset that goes about how we deal with our baggage. And some people, it might revolve around how you are going about accomplishing the amount of baggage that you have to deal with. For somebody else, though, you might be very impatient with this baggage and impulsive. You might just be like, all right, fine, here, give it to me. Give me the bag. I'll figure out how I'm going to deal with it later. I'll figure out what to do with this bag and what's inside of it at another time. Right now, just give it to me and I'm going to go. And I'm going to learn how to handle it while I'm actually doing it. And so those are some people and how they go about the baggage. Just go, just do, get it going quick, and we'll figure it out along the way. So that's another approach to dealing with the baggage that we all have in life. And now there's others that are just very easygoing about it, though. They're very chill, and they're like, okay, this is the baggage that I have in front of me right now. I'm going to figure out how to handle what it is I'm carrying at this moment. I'm not going to worry about the baggage from the past. I'm not going to worry about what else might be added to it. This is what I have, and I'm just going to go along and deal with this that's right in front of me and that I've got on my back, or I'm pulling behind me, or whatever it is in this moment. And, oh, you want to give me another bag that I wasn't expecting? Okay, fine, I'll deal with that. So now that I have these bags, I guess I'll take this route and dealing with it instead. And you can easily adapt and handle the changes that come along with the baggage. All of a sudden, you might go from like 5 heavy bags down to 1 light bag because something in your life changed. Cool. Great. This is what I've got right now then. And you can let all that stuff go a little bit easier. So that's another way of handling all the baggage that we have. So then you're going to have the people who are very skeptical about the bags. They're going to want to know everything that's in it. where all those things that are filling up your bags came from. Who's involved? What is the weight of the bags? What's the size? How many does everybody have? And they're going to be worried about peeling back the numbers and trying to figure out everything in the data. Maybe they have a spreadsheet going of the bags, what they each mean, how much they each weigh, where they each came from, and you just keep focusing on the analytics of the bags that you're carrying. And then we have the people who have what seems like a million bags, and there's all kinds of chaos going on. But in their world, they know exactly how to make that chaos into calm. So these might be the people who have a lot of things going on in their life. And that's their baggage that they have, is that they're multitasking and they can see and have so many different things, but they know exactly how to put all of them together. They can stack those bags or put one inside the other in exactly the right way so that all the craziness is now compacted into this one efficient way of dealing with the bags. And so that's how they go about the baggage that we all carry with us in life. And then we have our people who are very opinionated about the bags that we have, and they're very concerned about the beliefs involved in them. Do they align with my core values? Are these in accordance with my ethics? And they're going to get very judgmental about the bags that we're carrying, and maybe other people are carrying too, and say, oh, why would they carry that bag? That's not a good bag to have. These are the types of bags that they should be carrying instead. And we do this all out of the values that we have because we have a very strong sense of right or wrong. And this is what you hold on to with the baggage that you carry in life and what you see other people. And that helps you determine who you're going to build relationships with, who you're going to connect with, because you will first want to know what type of baggage and where it comes from and why they feel so strongly about it as to whether you feel like you can connect with that person or not. And so that is your way of setting up some boundaries for yourself in terms of the baggage that we all carry in life. So then you have the people who see all this baggage going on, and they're going to step up and tell everybody exactly how they should go about it. Well, if you just did this, that's going to work better for you. And I see it going like this. So I'm going to tell you and take charge of the baggage that you're carrying because I want to help you. I want you to not feel so burdened anymore. So I'm going to step up and I'm going to take charge. And maybe I'm even going to say, I'll carry the bags for you. You can't carry your own bags. Whatever that looks like, it is somebody who decides that it is up to them to take charge of all the bags that that's in their lives, that they're being exposed to and they're seeing themselves have to deal with, as well as other people too. So the next one is the people who just talk about the bags, and they are just forever telling all these stories about the bags. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe. I saw this woman in the airport and the bags that she had. Wow, I couldn't believe what she was carrying with her. And they'll just tell stories. They'll want to talk it out and they'll want to sit down and figure out, well, why is it that you feel the need to carry all these bags with you? Isn't there something in there that maybe you feel like you could unload? And they're going to want to get in there and they're going to hash it out with you and have the conversations. And that is how they go about dealing with the bags. And maybe they tell everybody about the bags they have. They can't stop telling everybody about all the bags that they're carrying in life. And then we have people who sit back and they are comparing. They are comparing the type of bag I have versus the type of bag you have. And oh my gosh, you went through the same things in life that I have, but you only have one bag that you're carrying. I have 5. So I have to figure out a way now to get myself to beat that. And I have to have a smaller bag than you. And they get their motivation in dealing with their baggage in life by comparing themselves to other people and figuring out how they're going about dealing with their baggage. And that motivates them to finally do something about their baggage that they've been carrying with them. And then you're going to have your spiritual. You're going to have your people that say, well, this is what it was meant to be. This is just the amount of bags I'm supposed to have. And I don't really have a whole lot of control over these bags because they're due to another source, another power, and I'm going to leave it up to that spiritual essence in my life to take care of the bags for me, or to have me learn the lesson that I'm meant to learn before I'm able to get rid of this bag. So they are somebody who takes on a whole different approach and a whole different mindset and meaning to the bags that they're carrying or other people are carrying and they're witnessing. And then you're going to have the people who look at all the baggage and get really upset and frustrated with the fact that everybody should have the same exact amount of baggage. Nobody should have to carry more than anybody else. Nobody should get to have a lighter burden and carry less than anybody else. There are no privileged. We should all go about it equal. And the way to do that is to have a set of rules and a system that we all agree to deal with and follow in order to handle the baggage that we all have in our lives. Next, we're going to have the people that cannot get rid of any baggage from the past. They find value in every single thing that they're carrying along with them, whether it's weighing them down or not. Maybe it's helping them get where they want to be because they have all this information. They have all this that they're carrying with them that has been proven or helpful in the past, and they're not willing to let that go because it's telling them how they should approach life. And so they carry this baggage with them. For others, it might weigh them down. And they just know they need to get rid of this baggage from the past, but they just don't know how. And maybe others are gone, ditched. Nope, I see no value in this. I'm over it, and I don't have to look back. They don't ever have to look in that bag again, and they're able to just cut it off and move on. So that's another way to deal with the baggage that we have in life. Then we have the overthinkers, the people who go through all the pros and cons lists. And before they're willing to do much at all with the baggage that they have to look at it first and say, where are the obstacles? How can I put this together best? I need to rethink it and go over it again and double check the list and make sure everything I have means something or is important or serves a purpose in some way before I will take one step forward. And then maybe they start moving and then they stop again and they have to overthink it. Is this really important that I have this with me? Is it time that I let this go? I don't know. And they kind of just view it all as a big minefield and they're waiting for the shoe to drop. And so they just let it go over and over and over again, going through those pros and cons of all the baggage that they're carrying with them. Or maybe they've pared it down and now they're down to one bag and then they're worried. Was that the right thing to do? And then they'll go through that and overthink that. So you're going to have your overthinkers with the amount of baggage that we all carry in life. So next are the encouraging people. These are the ones who will look at you and say, I know that's a lot of baggage you've got right there, but you can do it. Just strap it on your back. You are strong enough. You have it in you to carry it. I know you can get where you need to be, even though you have all this baggage with you. Or they might say, I know you can let some of this go. Let that baggage lighten your load, pare it down to one bag. And I know you don't feel like you can do that, but I see it in you. I know you have it in you and you can do it. Or after they have noticed that somebody has done that, They will be very quick to compliment you and comment on it and say, oh my gosh, I noticed you had 5 bags last month and now you're down to 2. What a great job in lightening your load in life. What a great job in letting some of that stuff go. I am so proud of you. So you have your encouragers. The thing that these people often forget to do is see that in themselves. They often forget to realize that they too have the potential of lightening their loads and that they have the ability to take care of the baggage in their own life because they're so worried about making sure everybody else feels that way. And then you have your very rigid, structured, scheduled people about the way they're dealing with their baggage. It must do this and then go like this, and then we're going to deal with it this way, and then this is going to happen, and that's my plan, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm sticking to it. And I don't have a lot of flexibility, and I don't want somebody else coming in and telling me how I'm supposed to do this. This is the way that I see it done, and they are extremely disciplined in getting the baggage dealt with or handled or carried or whatever it is that they've decided in an exact manner. And then, of course, you have the people who feel bad, who feel everybody else's baggage. And so without even realizing that, they're saying, here, let me carry that bag for you. It looks like you're struggling. Let me help you out. You grab one side and I'll grab the other. I know nothing in that bag belongs to me, but I'm going to carry it anyway. And I'm going to feel the weight of it just the same way that you do, because that's how they connect with people. They assume that this other person needs something or is struggling in some way, or they just want to have people be a part of it with them. So they will come up and sometimes not even ask. Sometimes they just do it and they don't ask first. And this is what can get them in trouble. When you walk up and you start carrying somebody else's bag, and maybe they don't want you carrying their bag. So it's very important when you feel like somebody else's burden is now yours and it's yours to carry the bag along with them. Ask first if they would like help. Ask if they're even struggling. They may be totally fine with the amount of baggage that they have, even though it's weighing them down. They know they have it and they're going to deal with it in their own way. So it's important to ask questions when you're feeling like you need to take on somebody else's baggage. And then you have those people who are just dialed in and they are focused on their bags. And there is not a lot of distraction. And when they do get distracted by somebody else's baggage or other people going by, that can annoy them and upset them because they just want to worry about their baggage and what it is that they're going to do with it. And that's where their attention goes. And they're all in with that. So you will notice those people as well. Now, there can be the other end of that, where you have the people who are just so distracted and concerned by everybody else's baggage that they have a hard time focusing enough on their own to carry their own baggage, especially if what's in that bag doesn't interest them. That is often a big player in the ability and the levels that somebody is dialed in and focusing on what's in their baggage is how much it interests them. Because if they're very interested in it, they often can get right in there. If they don't really care so much about what's in that bag, you better believe they're going to be concerned and look and take notice of everybody else's instead because they're searching for interest. Okay. Now you have the people who get very inspired by what's to come from this baggage, or inspired by the fact that they know next year they're going to be down to 1 bag in their life. Maybe the opposite. Maybe by next year, they're going to have 10 bags because that means they have so much more stuff in their life. And that's the baggage that they want to have. So that's something to keep in mind, is that some people are very forward thinking with their bags. If I know if I just get to that point over there with the baggage, it's going to be so much better. And so that's what they're focused on. And they don't really pay attention, or they're not as inspired or motivated by what's happening right now in front of them, because they are so forward thinking on what's to come with the bags instead. And then you have your peacekeepers when it comes to baggage. You have somebody who wants to kind of feel it's their place to come in and deal with any type of issue that might come up with the baggage. They think, oh, this might happen, and I don't want to deal with that, because these peacekeepers do not want any conflict to come from this baggage that's having to be dealt with, that we all deal with in life. So they're going to jump in and try to manipulate and do and mediate what it is that they can to make sure everybody is all good with the amount of baggage that we all have, and nobody is dipping into each other's baggage. And we're all just going about it in a very smooth, calm manner. And nobody is hopping onto the boat with an extra bag that's going to rock it and cause somebody to be upset about it. Okay. So that they feel like that's their job to do that. And then you have your innovators. They're going to look at baggage and say, why are we carrying it like this when I've come up with this new way of handling it? Here's this new way of carrying baggage or getting rid of baggage, and I'm going to go about it this way. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it very well to other people, but I know in my head, I have dreamt up this amazing way of going about dealing with baggage that is new and different. And I'm excited by this. And I'm going to do what I can to try to at least get it started. I might not have to see it through. I may be satisfied by just the fact that I had the idea and I gave it to somebody else, even though I might not be using this idea to carry my own bags. I've shared it with somebody else, and now they can make it happen. So these are the people who are constantly thinking in their head and brainstorming all kinds of new ways of dealing with life's baggage. And then we have people who are concerned with everybody else. We don't want anybody to feel left out. So if you see somebody standing off to themselves and they have no baggage whatsoever, you're going to want to pull them into your circle and you're going to want to share with them. Or maybe the opposite. You see somebody and they have so much baggage and they just don't even know how to deal with it by themselves. Then you're going to want to pull together a whole group and say, let's go help this person. Pull them in with us, and we all can share the baggage. What is that? Many hands make light work, right? So that's how somebody is going to go about baggage, who is very concerned with having everybody included and what it is that baggage entails. So then you have the people who look at the baggage that we carry and other people are carrying, and they find the things that are different and unique about each person's baggage. And you're going to take note of that. And that's what you're going to focus in and hang on to. And when you're with a group of people who don't have much baggage at all, you're going to check yours at the door. And you're going to go in and you're going to join them and meet them where they're at, because you have taken notice of that first. Again, maybe it goes the opposite direction and you're with people who have all kinds of baggage or a certain kind of baggage that they have with them and they don't have much other. Then you're going to focus in on that and say, okay, I now have that type of baggage too. I can do this as well. And so you really appreciate all the unique qualities and factors that go into other people's baggages. And that's what you tend to focus in on with dealing with it. And then you have people who, when it comes to the baggage that we carry in life, who are very resourceful. They're going to carry all kinds of extra baggage. that does not really necessarily serve them for a purpose, but they know somehow, some way, it is going to help somebody else. And they want to be able to be the person that they know to turn to and say, yes, here, I have this that's going to help you with whatever it is that you need, or this information might be of service to you in some way. So you're going to you're going to file it away, and you're going to hang on to all kinds of extra baggage because you want to be able to help other people by giving it to them. Now you have the people who dive really deep into their baggage, and they're peeling back the layers, and they get very introspective, and they want to know the depths of why they have this baggage. What does it really mean? Should I have it? And the thing with these people with this type of baggage is they have to be careful that they don't let it get to a point where they start beating themselves up about it because they have gotten so focused on themselves and so deep and introspective about it. And so that is one thing to be careful of. But they're going to really enjoy talking to people who have other baggage, and they want to go into the depths. They want to get very philosophical about, look at the baggage that we all carry in life. And this is what it means to all of us. And here's the depths, and maybe even go down some rabbit holes and really explore on a deep, very meaningful manner what life's baggage is all about in general. And then you have your people who want to be very knowledgeable about the baggage that they have. And they think, well, until I know a little bit more about what's going to be in this baggage, I don't know if I'm going to carry this or not. Or I have to understand why it is that I'm carrying this before I'm able to let it go. Maybe if I read another book about what's in this, I'll feel more comfortable with the baggage that I have. Maybe if I go to school and I get a degree, then I'm going to be able to do what it is I need to do with this baggage. But until I've learned and until I've gained the knowledge, I'm going to not have any idea or feel confident enough to do something with life's baggage that I'm dealing with. And then you have the people who, no matter how good you have dealt with baggage, they are going to always say to you, well, if you just did this, wouldn't it be so much better? What could we do to improve upon the baggage that you're carrying? And they're always going to see it that way. And they're going to have a very difficult time of feeling satisfied with, I got 4 bags full of stuff pared down to 1 bag, and they're going to have a hard time feeling content with that. They're going to say, yeah, but shouldn't it be even a smaller bag? Shouldn't I have no bags at all? What do I need to do to get to no bags at all? And they're going to keep striving and keep looking for betterment and keep doing this. And they don't just do this with themselves. They do this with other people in effort to help pull them along and help them with their baggage. What they don't realize is that for some people, they hear what you're doing with your baggage is not enough. And then that can be harmful to them. So this is why it is so important to understand not only how you carry your own baggage in life, but how other people go about it too, and realize it's different and that your way does not necessarily work for their way. And we can honor all the different ways that we each go about carrying our baggage in life. But then on the other side of that, you have your optimists who, no matter what's in the bag, no matter how many bags you're struggling with, they're going to look at you and say, yeah, but your bags are so pretty, or your bags are so cool looking. Yeah, but I've got 12 of them and I'm exhausted by it. But they're so cool. And they're going to look at and find the one good thing or the many good things about the bags. And they're going to focus on that, talk about that, and always need to search for the good of any type of baggage that's going on. I often say, People who have this very optimistic outlook in life wear the rose-colored glasses, right? But for some reason, when you're looking through rose-colored glasses, you do not see red flags. You have a very hard time seeing red flags. So it is very difficult for you to look and say, I know. That is terrible that there's so many bags that somebody is dealing with. Or I don't know if I want that person in my life because they seem to have a whole bunch of baggage that they're not dealing with. And so they let them in their life. And now it's a big mess of baggage that they didn't see because they were looking too much through the rose-colored glasses. So there's all kinds of ways of seeing. If you're noticing, I'm pulling something that's really good about each of these ways of carrying baggage and things to be mindful of. And I do that with all of these strengths that I work with people about and we talk through, because there are always things to lean into. And this is the really important and beneficial side of it. But then here are some things to be mindful of in dealing with this as well. And that's the way that I approach all of us dealing with all of our life's baggage. So now moving through the other various ways that people deal with their baggage that we all carry in life is they are very selective as to who they show their baggage to. They are very guarded with it, and they have to feel really comfortable with somebody before they will share their baggage with them. But then once they are, and they feel like you are now in my inner circle and I trust you and we have a good, deep, meaningful relationship, then they're going to share all the baggage and they're going to let them know everything about themselves. And they're going to have a truly authentic, deep, connected relationship. But this is only going to happen with certain people. So sometimes you may miss out on somebody who could really help you with your baggage, or have some baggage that adds to yours that makes it like this really wonderful experience instead, because you were a little too guarded first. So that is the mindfulness of being very careful and about how selective you are in who you show your baggage to, or whose baggage you want to see. That's the other side of it, right? I don't need to see everybody's baggage. I'm only concerned with these few people's, and that's it. Thank you very much. And then you have the people who feel like it is up to them to take on everybody else's baggage. They don't quite feel like maybe that person is handling it right, or maybe they could do it better, or they just for some reason feel like I need to be the one who's depended on. I need to be the one who's going to show up, and I'm going to step in and handle everybody else's baggage. The problem with this is you can become where you're micromanaging, and you are now going beyond your own and being responsible for your own baggage and being dependable to yourself and showing up with dealing with your own set of circumstances. And you are now drifting into other people's lanes, and you are now taking on and taking up their space and taking on their baggage. And sometimes this is whether you're wanted or not. Some people love that you do this, and they're like, hey, I don't have to worry about my baggage because she's going to take it. So I don't even have to worry about this. I'm just going to pass it right on through to them because they'll handle it for me. And then they don't learn to deal with their own baggage. Or some people are going to be like, hey, look, step aside. This is my baggage. I don't want you a part of it. And so that can cause some conflict in a relationship as well. So be very mindful of if you're getting into somebody else's baggage a little bit too much, if you're being a little nosy. Then you have the problem solvers. They are going to kind of dig in first to the problem. They're going to talk about and analyze and get into and maybe come off as very negative. Oh my gosh, look at all this I have in my bags. I don't even know how to deal with this. It's so much baggage. And they just first get overwhelmed and dig into the problem and talk about the problem. Well, look at all the baggage you have, and look at all the baggage this person has. And oh my gosh, we all have so much baggage. And what's even in these bags? And they can get very, other people hear their processing very negatively, and they're like, oh my gosh, would you stop with it? But what they don't realize is this person is doing all of this because they are constantly trying to figure out a solution to it. And so they want to fix, and they want to fix, and they want to fix, because that's what's going to make them feel better. That's what's going to bring them peace, is if I have not just avoided the problem and said, oh, what baggage are you talking about? There's no baggage. That doesn't land very well with them. No, we've got 5 bags, and this is how I'm going to fix it so that we can now put it into 2 very manageable, lightweight carry-on bags. And that's what we're going to do. And they're going to want to fix that. And they can do that for themselves, and they might want to do it for others too. Again, we have to ask those questions. Would you like help? I have a solution. Would you like to hear it? Can I give you a hand? I think I can fix this for you. You may be welcomed, you may not. So that's a tricky part with the problem solvers. And then you have those people who, no matter what is going on and how many bags and what's in the baggage, I got it. I got it. I don't need your input. I don't need your perspective. I don't really want it. I got it. I'll figure it out. And even if they trip and fall over all the bags that they have, and they break their nose or whatever it is, they are still going to stand back up and say, all right, I learned from that. I still got it. And they're going to figure it out. So they're not afraid to fail, but they also do not necessarily want other people's opinions and resources and help. They live through their own inner compass, and they feel like they are the ones who do or should have it. So this is a tricky one to navigate sometimes too. So they're the I got it no matter what, which is different than confidence, by the way. I will tell you, anybody can be confident in the way that they're carrying their bags, as long as they're doing it in the way that works for them. If they start trying to take on the way somebody else carries their life's baggage and it doesn't work for them, that is going to just diminish that confidence, like just squash it. But if you're going about dealing with your baggage your way and the way that works for you, can be very confident about that, no matter which way it is of any of these I've gone through. So next are the ones who are always coming up with a plan. They're making a plan, and usually the plan is a little bit different. So you might have this whole group of people who are dealing with their baggage in this manner, and this person is going to think. They're going to be in their head a lot. They're going to create something. They're going to learn what they need to learn to add to that. And they're going to make and formulate a plan that usually involves an alternative way of dealing with their baggage. And they're going to go about it that way. And they might get frustrated that you don't understand their plan. They may not have the best way of sharing that plan with you. They may just go about it and make the assumption, well, isn't everybody else making this plan too? Because it totally makes sense. Not realizing that what makes sense to you in your own head might not be the way that everybody else sees things too. But regardless, they make their plan. They will alternate it as needed, and they go through and they are very strategic about the way that they are going about the baggage. Okay. And lastly, of all the examples of all the different ways that we carry our own baggage in life, because we all have it, it's just a matter of the fact that it's all different and there's different amounts and it changes and ebbs and flows through life. But no matter what, we're all carrying something with us. This last example are the schmoozers. These are the ones who are wanting to meet new people with different sets of baggage. And they want to learn about and ask questions and find areas of connection so that these new people now feel comfortable and want to be around you. Maybe they want to just spend time with you and form a friendship. Maybe they want to buy what it is that you're selling. Maybe they want to attend the event that you're offering. Whatever it is that might be a reason behind, or like I said, could be for connection, looking for new friends, looking to expand your circle. It doesn't always have an ulterior motive behind it, especially when this comes very naturally for people. The higher this is for you, you just do it without the motive behind you. If this is pretty low, there is usually some other reason why you're trying to find those areas of connection, because you want it to lead to something else. For the people that this is natural for, they're doing it simply because they feel like this is going to help the other person move forward in their life in some way, whether it has anything to do with you or not, doesn't matter. You get the pure satisfaction from knowing that you found a connection point through your baggage that you each carry similarly, or that you can understand from each other, and you have now helped this person feel more comfortable and welcomed, even though they might be carrying this baggage with them. And you find those areas of connection so that you disarm people. And the more challenging that they are, in terms of thinking that nobody's going to understand my baggage, now that's just become a challenge for the schmoozers. They're going to want to hone in and find that connection piece and help you feel more relaxed so that you can move forward in your life. So we've just gone through all the many ways that all of us carry our baggage in life for ourselves. It is going to look different because clearly we use a combination of a variety of these different examples. We don't just lead with one or two or three or four or five. We use multiple at a time, multiple depending on what the situation is, where we're at, who we're with, what the baggage is that we're dealing with it. We have a variety, but there are some ways of dealing with it that's more naturally for us. And there's some ways that are not natural at all. And so when we know the difference, no matter what baggage it is that you're carrying, it can become so much easier for you if you go about it in your most natural way, and it can help you relate with other people when you allow them to go and carry their baggage in their own way instead of needing them to carry it the same way that you would.